The significance of the Ark of the Covenant resonates deeply within the biblical narrative, representing God's guidance and God's presence among His people. Prepared by the Israelites under God's direction, this sacred chest was of great importance because it protected the Ten Commandments, the divine laws prescribed by God for the Israelite. These 10 Commandments were given by God to Moses on Mount Sinai. This venerable ark was not just a container. It symbolizes a solid relationship with the divine, symbolizing God's closeness and involvement in the lives of the Israelites during their worship. According to the biblical narrative, the last clear mention of the ark is in the Old Testament scriptures, specifically in the history of the books, where it speaks of King Josiah's reforms. During the reign of Josiah, efforts were made to restore the temple and to restore the practices of worship, but there are no detailed records of the specific whereabouts of the ark or its movement during this period. Different theories and myths offer diverse scenarios, including its concealment, destruction, or displacement, each tied to historical and religious speculation. Some traditions suggest that the ark was hidden before the Babylonian invasion to prevent its desecration, while others speculate that it was taken or destroyed during the Babylonian conquest of 586 BC, had gone. The making of the Ark of the Covenant, a divine blueprint. In the annals of biblical history, the genesis of the Ark of the Covenant emerges as a testament to divine instruction and meticulous craftsmanship. God, as chronicled in the book of Exodus 25:10-22, bestowed upon Moses intricate details regarding the construction of this sacred ark. Crafted from acacia wood and overlaid with gold, the ark's adornment included 2 cherubim, angelic figures crowning its top, a design intricately delineated by God Himself. The divine specifications encompassed precise measurements and ornate elements, emphasizing its sanctity as a vessel for divine communion. Beyond a mere receptacle for the tablets, the ark epitomized a tangible symbol of God's unwavering presence and guidance, serving as a conduit for divine communication with the Israelites. The skilled hands of Bezalel and Oholiab, entrusted with the task, meticulously fashioned the ark in strict adherence to God's directives, as elucidated in Exodus 36:1-2. Its creation unfolded within a larger divine plan, the establishment of the tabernacle, a sanctified dwelling place for worship. Within this tent-like structure resided the ark, forming the spiritual nucleus of Israelite religious life during their sojourn in the wilderness. The divine crossing, the ark, and the Jordan River. Under the stewardship of Joshua, the Israelites stood poised at the threshold of the promised land and inheritance pledged by God to their forebears. The Jordan River loomed as the final obstacle, narrating a pivotal tale etched within the book of Joshua 3. Approaching the swollen river, God conveyed specific instructions to Joshua. The priests, tasked with bearing the sacred Ark of the Covenant, were to lead the procession and step into the river's current. As chronicled in Joshua 3:13, the script delineates, "And as soon as the priests who carry the Ark of the Lord of all the earth, set foot in the Jordan, its waters flowing downstream will be cut off and stand up in a heap." In an awe-inspiring manifestation of divine intervention, the moment the priests bearing the ark ventured into the Jordan, a miraculous occurrence unfolded. The river's surging waters ceased their flow, heaping up to facilitate the passage of the Israelites on dry ground. Following their miraculous traversal, the Israelites erected 12 stones gleaned from the riverbed, crafting a memorial commemorating this extraordinary crossing. The ark's pivotal role at the heart of this momentous event underscored God's tangible presence and assistance in fulfilling his pledge a new homeland for his chosen people. The Ark's role in the conquest of Jericho, a divine display of power. The illustrious history of the Ark of the Covenant unfurls further as its significance in guiding and safeguarding the Israelites becomes manifest in the saga of the Battle of Jericho. Post the crossing of the Jordan River, a pivotal moment involving the Ark transpired, chronicled within the biblical accounts in the book of Joshua chapters 5 and 6. Upon reaching Jericho, a formidable and pivotal city in the Canaanite terrain, Joshua, at God's behest, received explicit instructions on how to besiege the city. These divine directives intricately entwined the Ark of the Covenant in an extraordinary manner. God ordained that armed men, accompanied by priests bearing the Ark, would circumambulate the city once daily for 6 consecutive days. On the 7th day, this procession would repeat itself 7 times, culminating in the sounding of trumpets and a resounding shout at Joshua's command. Joshua 6:20 paints a vivid portrayal of the event, stating, "When the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, and at the sound of the trumpet, when the men gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed." So everyone charged straight in, and they took the city. Central to this awe-inspiring occurrence was the Ark of the Covenant. Its presence served as an emblem of God's unwavering guidance and omnipotence. The Ark's Enigma, a lesson in faith and obedience. One significant episode chronicled in 1 Samuel 4 unfurls amidst the turmoil between the Israelites and the Philistines following the collapse of Jericho's walls. As the conflict between the Israelites and the Philistines escalated, the former found themselves in a dire situation, facing adversity in battle. In a bid to turn the tide, they resolved to transport the Ark of the Covenant from Shiloh to their encampment. The rationale behind this decision stemmed from the belief that the Ark symbolized God's presence, as articulated in 1 Samuel 4:3-4. "Let us fetch the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord out of Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, it may save us out of the hand of our enemies." However, the Israelites' expectations were met with an unforeseen outcome. Their belief that the mere presence of the Ark would secure victory proved fallible. Instead, the Philistines intensified their onslaught upon learning of the Ark's presence within the Israelite camp. Ultimately, the Israelites suffered defeat, and the Ark of the Covenant fell into the hands of the Philistines, as documented in 1 Samuel 4:10-11. This profound account underscores a crucial lesson, a revelation that the Ark, revered and sacrosanct, was not imbued with magical properties capable of ensuring automatic triumph. While it signified God's presence among his people, the Ark's journey with King David, symbolism, and reverence. The multifaceted saga of the Ark of the Covenant takes a momentous turn in the biblical chronicles, intertwining with the reign of King David and the establishment of Jerusalem as the nucleus of religious and political authority. Following the tumultuous events involving the Philistines' capture and subsequent return of the Ark, its narrative resurfaces in the books of 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel. In 1 Samuel 6, following the Philistines' ordeal upon capturing the Ark, they opt to return it to the Israelites. Placed on a new cart drawn by 2 cows, the Ark embarks on an unexpected journey, eventually arriving at Beth Shemesh, an Israelite town, as detailed in 1 Samuel 6:12. However, upon the locals' curious inspection of the Ark's contents, a divine retribution strikes them down for their lack of reverence, prompting them to dispatch the Ark to Kiriath Jearim, where it finds a prolonged abode. The Ark's pivotal role resurfaces in 2 Samuel 6, as King David, intent on solidifying Jerusalem's stature as the epicenter of both religious and political governance, resolves to transport the Ark to the city. However, the initial attempt encounters a misstep, placing the Ark on a cart that nearly topples. In a moment of apparent inadvertence, Uzzah reaches out to steady the Ark and faces divine retribution for his touch, striking fear into David's heart. Initially hesitant to relocate the Ark to Jerusalem, David eventually learns of the blessings bestowed upon the interim dwelling, leading him to undertake a more reverential and cautious approach. With an elaborate celebration, David orchestrates the Ark's procession, radiating both joy and reverence, as captured in 2 Samuel 6:14, and David danced before the Lord with all his might. The Ark's journey with King David encapsulates a profound testament to reverence, acknowledging its pivotal role as a conduit for divine presence and blessing within the heart of Jerusalem, Solomon's Temple, a monument of divine presence. Following King David's triumphant conveyance of the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, a momentous chapter unfurls during the reign of his son, King Solomon. This epical narrative centers on the construction and dedication of the Temple, a grand edifice envisioned by Solomon to enshrine the Ark and stand as the epicenter of Israelite worship. The biblical account in 1 Kings 8:111 vividly recounts Solomon's ceremonial procession, summoning the elders and tribal leaders to relocate the Ark from the city of David, Zion, to the Temple. This monumental event brimmed with pageantry and fervent offerings. Upon the Ark's installation within the inner sanctuary, the holiest precinct beneath the cherubim's wings, a remarkable manifestation transpired. A cloud enveloped the temple, symbolizing the divine presence, as articulated in 1 Kings 8:10-11. For the glory of the Lord had filled the house of the Lord. This ethereal phenomenon underscored the sacredness of the temple and affirmed God's tangible manifestation among his people. Solomon's temple emerged as the nucleus of worship, with the Ark of the Covenant at its core, a symbol not just of God's presence, but also of his enduring covenant with Israel. It encapsulated the essence of the divine relationship, affirming God's steadfast connection with his chosen people. Destruction of Solomon's temple. The devastation of Solomon's temple, a sacred edifice symbolizing God's presence among the Israelites, transpired during the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, the formidable Babylonian king. Nebuchadnezzar's conquest of Jerusalem culminated in its siege, revealing his intent to assert dominance over Judah. Through coercion and control, Nebuchadnezzar manipulated Judean kings, subjugating them as vassals to Babylon. Zedekiah, the last king, succumbed to rebellious impulses, disregarding divine warnings and prophetic advice, eventually rebelling against Babylon. The Babylonian retaliation was swift and brutal, culminating in the siege and destruction of Jerusalem. The siege walls encircling Jerusalem intensified the city's plight, causing famine and hardship. Despite Jeremiah's warnings, the rebellion persisted, leading to the capture and execution of Zedekiah, marking the tragic downfall of Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan, Babylon's officer, orchestrated the temple's annihilation, reducing the magnificent structure to ruins. The Babylonians ransacked and pillaged the temple, plundering its treasures, including the sacred artifacts and prized possessions, carrying them off as spoils. The Babylonian conquest culminated in the forced exile of many Judeans, leading to a lamentation echoed in Psalm 137 as they mourned their lost homeland by the rivers of Babylon. Despite the temple's ruin, this period engendered an evolution in Israelite spirituality, emphasizing a deeper understanding that God's presence transcended physical structures. The Ark of the Covenant's fate remains a mystery, shrouded in historical ambiguity as it vanished amidst the temple's destruction. The mystique of the Ark of the Covenant in Revelation. Curiosity abounds about the Ark of the Covenant's fate after historical records fade away. Contrary to claims of its relocation in 1936, its final biblical appearance lies within Revelation's enigmatic passages, offering a glimpse into the celestial realm. John, privileged with a vision of heaven's throne room, recounts the awe-inspiring spectacle revealed to him. A trumpet-like voice beckons him, akin to God's call summoning Moses for divine revelation, inviting John, "Come up here," promising revelations of future events. In Revelation 11, amidst heavenly splendor, John witnesses the temple of God. This divine dwelling becomes a subject of interpretation, some perceiving it as emblematic of the church. Here, a momentous event unfolds the temple's opening and the site of the Ark of his Covenant. Thunderous commotion accompanies this revelation, echoing God's manifestation at Mount Sinai in Exodus 19:16-19, marking the divine presence. The Ark, once a tangible relic, evolved in significance. Beyond its physicality, it became symbolic, embodying God's laws, promises, and guidance. Its transformation from a palpable object to a spiritual concept is reminiscent of Hebrews 9:4, correlating it with Jesus' new covenant, illuminating its broader role in Christian faith. The Ark's narrative transcends its disappearance, evolving continually, shaping beliefs and perspectives. Whether speculated upon in various theories or integrated into religious teachings, it remains an enduring source of intrigue and inspiration, embodying a testament to faith and divine presence throughout the Bible. The journey of the Ark of the Covenant is a testament to its significance in faith and divine narratives, encapsulating the evolving nature of spiritual symbols and their profound impact on beliefs and traditions.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.